Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing the Porsche 911 versus the Porsche Cayman. So the Porsche 911 is a car that needs absolutely no introduction. It's arguably the most iconic car, ever made, beloved by car enthusiasts around the world. One of the most recognizable silhouettes of a vehicle, ever. Almost anybody's going to recognize, hey, that's a Porsche 911. They may not recognize the Cayman, but they will recognize the 911. So the last 60 years, Porsche has been refining that car and just making it absolutely great. And until 95, when they introduced the Porsche Boxster, they had no real internal competition. They had the 924 and the 944, but both of those were front engine, and they've had other hypercars and supercars. But again, that's not really a competitor to their own 911. Whereas the Cayman was sort of the baby 911 and more of a direct competitor. So there's tons of videos, tons of articles doing deep dives on all the performance. Every performance metric you want to know is not going to be found in this video. We're going to be talking about the emotions of driving, owning, making the decision to buy these cars. Which one makes sense for you? So if you're looking for a deep technical dive, that's not your video. But if you're looking to find real world solutions and answers to which car you should be buying, this probably is your video. So starting off with the first category, it's going to be styling. And I hit this a little bit in the intro. I'm going to go a little bit more in detail now. I don't have a 911 with me. I don't own a 911, so there's no 911 to show you, but I'll put some pictures up. The 911, and I mentioned it already, the silhouette is just beautiful, recognizable to anyone. The front fenders with the circle headlights, I mean, you see that coming down the road and you're like, that's a 911, that looks good. It's wide, it's low slung, and it screams performance car. There's just very little to nag about the way that the Porsche 911 looks. If you have anything bad to say about the Porsche 911's looks, I would love to hear it down in the comments, and I would love to reply to you to tell you that you're wrong. But we also have the Cayman 911, or the Cayman 911. We also have the Cayman here, which is not a bad looking car in and of itself. The front fenders of the 911, the Cayman sort of carries that style over. The fenders are bulged up a little bit. It has the not quite circle, but circle-like headlights. So the front end is actually very similar to the 911. And actually the Boxsters, when they came out, shared the exact same front end as the 911. In fact, these cars share a lot of the same parts. But the looks of the Cayman are a little bit weaker. So the back end in particular is just one of those things where it is still a very pretty car, but the rear of a 911 just looks better than the rear of a Cayman. If anybody disagrees with that, please let me know. Because I know I have a lot of the Cayman viewers that are watching this video, been waiting on me to make another Cayman video. Well, here it is. And I'm shitting on the Cayman and saying that the Cayman just doesn't look as good as the 911, guys. It's a great looking car, fabulous looking car. No matter what spec you get, you're always going to have these vents on the side, which are both functional and very cool looking. Like we talked about the front, it has the cool front styling that is very 911-like. It still has a beautiful silhouette in its own, and it is a very nice looking car. But it's not a 911, guys, and if they were parked next to each other, you know which one you would say looks better. So I'm gonna have to take the L on the styling category. The Caymans are gonna lose this one. But let's move on to the next category and see if we can get a win. Moving on to the next category, which is gonna be cost. So because Porsche's been making the 911 for 60 years and the Cayman for 20 years, there's basically going to be a Cayman or a 911 or even a Boxster for that matter at whatever price point you're looking. If you want to have a Cayman S like mine, and I'm going to make one comparison here for you. The 2015 Cayman S right here is got like 38,000 miles on it. It's probably a $50,000 car, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. This car has the same 3.4 liter engine that is in the 991 Porsche 911s, base models. So a base model 991 911 with similar miles is going to be $20,000 more. So when it comes to cost, there's a flat out winner of the Cayman being the winner. It's just a cheaper car, and it is the more entry-level sports car, so that probably shocks exactly no one. They do, however, have Caymans at every price point, like I talked about. The GT4S, GT4 RS is a tremendously expensive car. The GT3 RS 911 is a tremendously expensive car. So when you're talking cost, these cars can be either super expensive or super cheap, whether you're talking Cayman or 911. Pound for pound, though, what you get for your money, you're going to get more car for your money with a Cayman than you will with a 911. So the other thing going along with cost is maintenance. So I touched on it. These cars share a lot of the same parts. They go to the same dealership to get serviced. Whether it's a 911 or a Cayman that you bought, it's going to be expensive to maintain. There is a bit of a myth that the Cayman, since it's a cheaper car, it's cheaper to maintain. I'm here to dispel that myth, and I have another video going into what I've spent on this car over the last 5 years, and I'll probably do another update on that in another 6 months or so once it's been 6 years to show what I've spent over the last year. But all that to say, it's not cheap, guys. It's not like, oh, I'm going to get the Cayman because the maintenance is going to be way less. It's like, that's not true at all. What you should be doing is figuring out what your priorities are in the car. Do you really need that 911? Do you not care about the extra cost for a comparable one? Are you more okay with getting maybe a baser trim 911 instead of the more high spec Cayman? That's going to be an internal decision that you guys have to make when you're buying. But for me, when I bought this car 5 or almost 6 years ago now, I frankly was in a way different financial position than I'm in now. I cleared probably more than double what I made when I bought this car. So when I bought this car, cost was a huge deal and a huge reason that pushed me towards getting the Cayman instead of the 911. But that's only one of the reasons. So we'll see in the next categories here what the final nail in the coffin was. But we have a win for the Cayman camp, guys. So if you guys are here for the Caymans and you love your Caymans, we got the first W of the video. Moving on to the next category of performance and driving dynamics. And we cannot kick off this topic without first talking about where the engine is in these cars. So the Cayman behind me, as all Caymans are, has the engine in the middle, which we all know watching this video, that's the right spot to put the engine. The 911 has it all the way in the back because it's a Volkswagen Bug. To be fair, the Porsche 911 was developed off of the Volkswagen Bug initially, and obviously it's evolved into a great sports car now, but it's a Volkswagen Bug. And because of that, it's never going to corner and feel the way that a Cayman does. The Cayman, just the way it handles, because it's lighter, because it's smaller, because the engine is in the middle, it has better driving dynamics on the road. And up until recently, Porsche, it's not that recent anymore, but Porsche, when they released the Caymans, they did not give the Cayman everything the 911 had. And because Porsche is smart, they knew if they gave the Cayman 911 power and they gave it, the 911 even like slightly better styling, if they threw everything the 911 had at the Cayman at a lower price point, who would buy the 911 other than all the people that love the prestige and history of the 911? And I'm one of those people too, and I will have a 911 at some point. But all that said, the Cayman, it's just going to handle a little bit better, especially on the streets. So the real performance difference is going to be when it comes to like the GT2 RS and the 911 Turbo. But there's no Cayman that's going to be in the same price point as, maybe the GT4 RS, but you're not going to like compare, a Cayman 718 GTS 4.0 to a 911 GT2 RS and say, well, the 2RS has more power. And it's like, well, yeah. But I will say, if you have a GT2 RS or you have a 911 Turbo, are you enjoying that power on the street, on the back roads? Probably not. Could you enjoy sharper handling on the street, on the back roads? Probably. So it's really, I think the 911, especially the GT2 RS, GT3 RS, they are better, But for real world use, I'm gonna have to give this category to the Cayman, you guys. And if I'm wrong, light it up in the comments and tell me, the 911 is better, you're wrong. And I'll be like, okay, well, you don't have a 911, so you don't know. And maybe you do have a 911 and you've driven this too. Who knows? But the Cayman wins either way. So sorry about you. And we're gonna move on to the next category now. All right, I've mentioned it a couple times now. I've talked about the prestige and the history. So this last category we're going to go over is like prestige and like notoriety of owning these cars. Um, like we said, the 911's been around for 60 years, and they have iterated and improved that design over those 60 years, and it is a true masterpiece. Um, the Cayman, on the other hand, does not have that same level of prestige. It has been developed and refined over 20 years, and they also were building off of all of Porsche's experience through the 60 years of building the 911s. But this car does not carry the prestige the way the 911 does. You do get a little bit of prestige points in terms of it being a Porsche, but you are going to catch some flack for it possibly, and maybe you won't, maybe you will. Definitely not in person, but I've had it several times, probably 5 or 6 times and that's not a whole lot, but it does happen. 5 or 6 times or so of over the last 6 years of owning this car, I've had either someone comment or reply or something with some nasty comment variation of, "You're poor. That's a poor man's 911. You only bought that because you couldn't afford the 911." And it's like, okay, I bought the car because I liked it, and I know my viewers are thick-skinned like me and disregard all that noise. But you don't get that noise with the 911, guys, because someone's going to see the 911 and they're going to recognize that, hey, that's a freaking 911. That's an amazing car, and they're not going to have anything to say. They might say, "Oh, you didn't get the GT3," and that's the thing with these sort of trolls and stuff. They're gonna poke a hole in something no matter what. You got a GT3 RS, they'll say, why didn't you get a Bugatti? So you're not gonna win with someone who's gonna make that kind of comment. You're gonna be thick-skinned. I know it, especially you Cayman guys. You got to be thick-skinned because you're gonna get that type of hate if you choose the Cayman. You won't get any of that with a 911, but you will have the car that has the engine in the wrong spot. You will have a Volkswagen Bug if you buy that. So next time someone says something to you about your Cayman, just reply back and be like, "Hey, nice Volkswagen Bug, guy," and that'll squash that. But all this to say, in terms of the prestige, I've talked about it 20 times at this point. There's no denying that the 911 is going to win the prestige category. So with that said, we've got two winners and two winners for both the Cayman and the 911 side. But yet you see a Cayman here behind me and not a 911. So that means I had to use my own reasoning to pick one. And that's what we're going to close this video out with, guys. It's going to be why I chose to go ahead and pick up this Cayman. And I touched on it before. The cost was the first reason, right? Because I was looking at 997s, base model, not S. So 997s, Caymans, and that was really all I was looking at whenever I bought this car. I had a Mustang GT at the time, and I was looking to get into something that was going to hold its value better and something that was just going to be a bit of a step up from a Mustang that you see, 10 of them every time you go out driving. So when I was looking, I was like, I really want something that's going to be great on the streets and something that's going to be cheap and something that's going to be cool. And it sort of pushed me towards this Cayman you see here behind me. So it wasn't just the cost, but I will say the cost was like the big one. It was probably 75% of the reason, and 25% was I like the way the Cayman handles better, and 75% was I like the price tag better. And I will shamelessly admit that. A lot of people might try to hide that fact and say, "Oh, I could have bought the 911, but I really like the Cayman," and it's like, that's awesome. If that's true, that's great. Me, it's so much cheaper, guys, and I was a broke boy. I'm not a broke boy now, but I still got the broke boy car. If you're new to this video, there's usually a BMW M2 parked right here where I'm sitting, and that should validate that I ain't no broke boy anymore. But over the years with this Cayman, I never felt the need to upgrade to that 911. I could have several times. And, you know, I own this car outright. I could sell it tomorrow and go pick up an amazing 911 and it would hardly cost me anything. But I'm still not doing that because every time I drive this car, I'm reminded why I love it. You know, it really is a great car. So it has the 911 base engine. It has the mid-engine, you know, driving dynamics. And when I drive it, it's like, how could I want for more? Whenever I ring this car out on the streets, I can hardly use all of this car's performance. And I can't even use all of this car's performance. And I'm not one to track my car a bunch. So if you are, I could see getting a more of a track dedicated setup, maybe going for the GT4, maybe getting the GT3 RS, you know, depending on what your budget is, obviously. I don't have the budget to have all these different cars without starting to sell some stuff off. So I'm not going to sell some stuff off, and I'm not going to just upgrade this to like a 911S for the sake of having the 911 and having the prestige and having the styling, because I love this car, guys. If you drive both, you're not going to be like blown away relative to each other one way or the other if you're driving a comparable trim level on both cars. So then it just comes down to which one do you like better. As we talked about, you know, the maintenance wise, it's going to be the same either way. So it's just down to, I could afford the Cayman as a bit newer, a bit higher trim, a bit more options, and have 90% of the 911 experience at like 60 to 70% of the cost. And for me, it was like, it was a no-brainer. And I know I have a large Cayman audience, so I know a lot of you guys are going to be agreeing with me. But hopefully I can bring in some 911 guys because, like I said, I am going to have a 911 one day. And I'll be making some videos for you 911 guys that find my channel, so go ahead and sub. But yeah, whenever I do get that 911, it'll be more of a direct head-to-head comparison, and we can compare. It'll be interesting because when I get my 911, it's not going to be a comparable trim. And I'll just leave it at that. It's going to have a G in front, for sure. But when I get those two cars side by side, I will really get to real world test it a little bit better. Because, you know, I'm gonna let you in on a secret. I've never driven a 911, so if you made it this far in the video, maybe I just invalidated everything I just said in the entire video because I haven't even driven one. But hey, you know, I'm smart. I can use reasoning. I can read articles. I can watch videos. I can get educated without having the real world experience in that 911. But hey, I'm just a guy on YouTube, so listen to me or not. That's gonna be it for today's video. Don't forget to smash that smash that like button, and then hit the sub button. And then stay tuned for the next video. Sorry for the slow upload on this one, guys. The weather wasn't compliant, and that's why we're doing this video here in the garage. We've had a lot of hot and a lot of wet days, so hopefully we'll get some better weather. But we will be getting back to our normal schedule, or at least trying to. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, everybody.